90% of the people who try replacing their 9-to-5 fail and end up going back into their 9-to-5. I'm gonna walk you through exactly what the top 10% of people do that successfully get out of their 9-to-5. My name is Alex Gunner. I quit my 9-to-5 at 22 years old, and I now run one of the most successful talent management agencies in the world, partnered with Nike, Strava, Gatorade, and we make millions of dollars a year. And what you need to understand is that your 9-to-5, you always will have a ceiling. You are trading your time for money. In the rare circumstance where, you're getting equity that actually IPOs, which is the 0.01% of companies, even then you are still trading your time for money and you will always have a ceiling. What I mean by that is if you want to make an exponential amount of income from what you're currently making right now, let's say you're at $30, $40 an hour, you can work 100 hours in a week, but even at $40 an hour, that's $4,000, okay? You can never make more than that because that's your ceiling. Now you might get promoted and you might now make $45 an hour, but that is where you will fail in the long term unless you want to stay complacent. But I've got a feeling that you don't. That's why you're watching this video, because you know that you can do more in your life than stay in that job that's just trading your time for your money. So that leads you down the path of, okay, be an entrepreneur. I'm not going to trade my time for money. Great. That is the most important concept for you to understand. But also realize a lot of these make money online schemes that you're looking into are also going to be trading your time for your money, right? The goal here is to look at the long-term play. Where do you want to be in 5 years, in 10 years? And those are the questions you got to ask yourself, because I know that you know the potential you have, and until you define a goal and define a number, you will always stay stuck because you need a target. And with those targets, look at the different industries that you have available to yourself. I started doing e-com, I did copywriting, I ran a marketing company, and all of these, I was trading my time for money, even though it wasn't a normal 9-to-5. I had to learn this the hard way, and that's what I hope to give you in this video, is that you understand you don't have to do that. If you're gonna jump in as an entrepreneur, find an industry that will grow exponentially with you. That's when I stumbled upon talent management. I realized that if I represent one influencer and I connect them with one brand, I will get a set amount of money paid out to me on a monthly basis in perpetuity. What I mean by that is even by year 2, I'm still getting money from a check that came in 2 years ago from one call that I closed, and I don't have to do any more work. The influencer does. That's when I started scaling, and I now, if I don't do anything else this entire month, I will still make hundreds of thousands of dollars because of deals I signed years ago. So find an industry, find a path before you jump in and you trade your time for money. Make sure that this is something that will grow exponentially and will give you true freedom. You don't want to be that person that's 80 years old, still busting their ass, trying to make every dollar because their time is now just directly tied to their money. I started as a sales rep. I thought this was the dream, this was the outcome. All my friends around me were saying, wow, you're working for such a reputable company. It's a public company here in the US. And I became a #1 sales rep in my 3rd quarter ever. And from there, outside looking in, I was making great money. I mean, $200,000 W2 at 22 years old. That's crazy from the outside. But looking in, there was no purpose. I didn't feel like there was any mission behind this. And you're probably feeling the same way. You are working for someone else for a purpose that you don't believe in, and you still have time. It's never too late, ever, for you to make that jump. And I'm saying this to you because that's what I wish I heard. I didn't have anyone in my corner. I was just sitting there praying, trying all these different business models, not sure if this is really meant for me. Understand it is. This is the best time in the world, in history, out of the last 2,000 plus years. There's never been a better time for you to switch online to make money ever. You could pull up your phone, right, and make thousands of dollars within a couple weeks, barely working. I'm going to Italy here in a couple days, barely working, and I'm still gonna make hundreds of thousands of dollars because I found the right business model. So do deep research before you jump in, because once you jump in, I have a lot of friends that have come into different business models, and once you get pretty deep into it, it's hard to get out because you've invested so much time and money into it. So be careful. It's the same as relationships. I like to make the analogy a lot of times correlating business to relationships because it's very similar. If you meet someone and on the second date you see a red flag and you realize, oh, this person has had 20 exes and they're not loyal, well, it's great that you found that on the second date because it's very easy to part ways. If you've now been married with someone for 5 years, it's much more difficult for you to part ways. And you probably know people just like that. It's the same with business. So start analyzing business the same way you do with relationships and realize, make the decision beforehand and be careful before you invest all your valuable time and money into an industry that's not going to scale for you and with you. When I started out, I didn't realize these secrets that I'm telling you. And if you apply these, you're careful before you jump in, that is what's going to help you grow. And that's what's going to help you build up an amazing empire because you want to be able to travel the world whenever you want, right? I had a personal assistant in Miami and I'm going to get another one. It's just now I'm here in San Diego visiting family and again, I'm going to Europe. But I understand that my time is so valuable that I don't just trade it for money. I find other people who are willing to trade their time for money, such as a personal assistant who cooks, cleans, does my dishes. They're trading their time for money or for an experience. And I realized that's not where I want to put my time. I want to put my time where I can exponentially grow. And look at your surroundings too and see where can you stop wasting your time that you could be spending on building a business, on growing, on scaling, and focus on that. Dedicate that time to this and you will break free. You will get out of your 9-to-5, your basic job. I promise you. But you gotta believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, you will fail. You really will. And there's no way for me to sugarcoat it because it's the truth. It's the reality. And to believe in yourself, make sure you have the people in your corner. Have friends that are there to support you and find people who are doing what you're doing and ask them to mentor you. Ask them to be there because they will teach you stuff they wish they knew when they started, such as me with this video. So that's my little tangent for this video, but I just want to be here and let you know you can do it. There's tons of ways to do it online. Make sure that you're careful on where you spend your time and money. Make sure it compounds and is exponential for you, and don't just trade your time for your money the way you're doing right now. Have an amazing day, and remember, you got this.